Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication.
Well, thank you folks for watching our program. Thanks for CC Media for hosting this. People in the hospital, cannabis is good medicine. You don't have to smoke it to get the benefits of the plant. We have all this knowledge on different ways of using the cannabis. We have the butter that takes a process, the healing oil with any of the oils that you have in your kitchen. So, no. I hope you had a good harvest in growing this year. Here's Perry and here's Sonny, and we're the Mercy Center, Mercy Nation. So,
hello, Mercy Nation.
Hello, welcome to Mercy TV. I'm Paranormal, this is Sonny, and along with producer PK hiding behind the camera at the moment, we'll be hosting this segment of Mercy TV. Today's subject, well, we're going to talk a little bit about butter, because we got contacted recently by an acquaintance of ours, a compatriot who is out of state at the moment, and I guess he's out on the East Coast where he has access to seafood, and was talking about how he's using the can butter.
Well, no, that's where he's going to live. He's living there. That's where he's staying. And they're going to, that's because he's going to live there. He's changing his diet completely. And when a person, you know, when you have a condition and you use the medicine for your condition, and you know, you find out how good the medicine works for that condition, and you notice how good it does for your quality of life. You know, well, he started telling us, you know, man, I'm making omelets with the butter, and it's doing so good.
well, he's adding crab to it as well.
Oh yeah, and he's adding crab with his omelets. And you know, he said, man, I noticed when as soon as I started adding the butter with it, man, I got more energy and everything started, the longer. And he said, Sonny, it was back, and you know, it was back to, you know, Perry and I was talking, you know, it was back in the day, you know, it was just back all over again. You know, it was going through all the stuff, how we started all of this. You know, people don't understand, you know, the medicine really works for people that have a condition, you know, and it doesn't matter what your condition is. You know, you have to allow the medicine to work for you, you know, and let your body metabolize your work. You know, you have to let it work, you know, and whatever it is, you know, your organs are going to take the medicine and let it work.
Well, it all depends if you're using a butter and adding it to your ingredients of cooking, and you don't want to burn this butter. You use it as one of the ingredients. But with the different oils that you have in the house that are safe to use, or cooking oils, you can soak your cannabis. Hopefully you had a good harvest that you could put a bit down, and in 28 days the molecules are all into the oil, and then you just have to filter the oil And if you want anything stronger, you take the mash and you crush it. And by hand or by a press, but you want to save the mash and keep on using it like it's a fine cheese. So that's how I use the olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, with the 5-gallon bucket, and every year I add from that harvest into the oil. And I use it for my carpal tunnel. I've used it for burns. I had spots on my lungs. I rubbed it on my chest and my back. And the last chest x-ray, they didn't mention anything about spots on your lungs. So, but that's personal testimonial.
Well, we've had, a patient in here to the center that's talked about it. His cancer went away, and he eats it, and he smokes it, and he rubs it on, and the medicine works for him, and his cancer has went away, and as far as I know, it hasn't came back yet,
Right.
So there's just another person that we know that uses the cannabis. It's good medicine, we know how good it is.
And the method of preparation, just like when we made the pancakes, when we had the Wake and Bake series, as folks may recall, Mercy Nation, there we cooked the pancakes in the can of butter. Here we cooking the omelet, the eggs. We could be cooking anything. The key ingredient is the can of butter. And in both cases, the can of butter was highly concentrated, such that some people, quite frankly, overdosed on it, if you will. But testimony again to how safe and benign cannabis is. Even these folks with high concentrations of cannabis were not physically harmed. They didn't. Nobody died, for example. People were nauseous to a certain degree, but no physical harm occurred to folks as a result. Yes.
Well, that's when you're tasting or testing out some edibles. Just take a little bit and give it some time and see how it is. Man, maybe 15 minutes, maybe a half an hour time. Maybe even an hour before you enjoy any more of that edible, because it might be a really a sneaker. And that's
especially for people who are inexperienced.
Yeah.
I mean, if they haven't not so much built up a tolerance, as it were, have their body's metabolism adjust properly to the medicine.
Well, and a lot of people notice they like the indicas rather than the sativas.
Well, you're talking about one's for the morning, one's for the evening. That's the difference between the indica and the sativa. But you might only have indica in the house or sativa. So any of the cannabis varieties, even the hemp, you can see the commercials on hemp products on the TV now.
Particularly CBDs based medicine, which is really great to see for all those folks living in states where CBD only medicine is the only medicine that's allowed. So good, they can now order it in through the mail in theory, anyway. So
and you can make this yourself. You have the ingredients at your house. Hopefully you have a supply of cannabis that you grow yourself.
Well, getting the cannabis medicine, yeah.
But you can make it yourself.
I mean, if you have a garden, if you have a harvest, you can take what? How much of the leaf and everything
well,
else?
you can use the leaf, you can use the roots.
From the bottom to the top.
Right, but I mean, you can. How much can you fit in the pot is the question. I mean, it's
Well,
several
how
ounces.
big is the
you know?
pot?
You know?
So, I don't know if folks can go out in the street and get an ounce and then turn and mix that into butter. Although, the process is the same.
Because they couldn't smoke it.
Yeah, they can smoke it instead.
Well, they could not smoke it. That's why they're changing.
Sure. Okay. Also, folks, there's you can make teas out of it. Tinctures is really easy.
Back to the RSOs.
RSOs. I think it's the question of time, because Peter's PK's oil is one where it sits in like cold fusion, whereas with the butter processes you cook it, so we're talking 30 days versus 6 hours in the process.
And it's back to the condition, the patient. Well, like he was saying, he said, man, this omelet I'm making is so good, but I'm able to get this crab. I haven't been able to go fishing because I haven't been able to get my ID, but I can get crab. Because I can throw a line in, and get a crab, but I can't go fishing. But I can throw a line in and get a crab. So I've got a few crabs, and I've made these, omelets with those crab. And he goes, man, this crab with a little butter is great. And man, it's really, I notice how good I'm getting, bro, I gotta tell you, it's really, I can tell you, you understand what I'm saying. It's giving me the energies and all the things that I'm getting out of it. And I said, man, that's really what it's about. That medicine is supposed to work like that with, all the different diets. When you got the pain and he's got the sugar diabetes, and he's watching so many different kinds of conditions that he's got going on. He's got arthritises, he's got a lot of things going on himself, So people, they're out there in Mercy Nation, in all these states and all these countries, there's a lot of, people, the way they use and learn how to use the medicine, they got back to, like you were saying, the teas and tinctures. Well, because back to drinking it,
So we need you to renew your medical marijuana permit again when it comes time. We need you to register and vote. If you have an opinion, write to your congressman or your legislator official and tell them about your testimonial, and talk to your doctors on how that you see that cannabis is beneficial for my quality of life. So it's up to us, it's up to you. Thanks for CC Media for letting us spend your ear. I hope you are a weekly watcher of this program. I hope you're watching my garden when that series was happening. And eventually get back to the legislative hearings that one time we were going to about cannabis and changing the law. But it's up to you and me, us, to make a difference. So renew your medical marijuana permit. Be active in your legislation. We're trying to help you and encourage you.
Yes, it's very important. Everybody be safe. The cannabis is good medicine. It's good for a lot of conditions. People, You know, once your body starts metabolizing the medicine, you know, it works so many ways neurologically. You know, if you give your body a chance to work, it goes, you know, it works for Perry's body one way, it works for Pete's body one way, it works for my body one way, you know, it works all of our bodies one way, you know. There's a lot of people out there in the nation, it works for all their bodies differently, you know. Perry's got all these different emails, you know. People have told him, you know, all the good things, you know. We got a lot of veterans out there, you know. Thank you, veterans, for all the help that, you know, and we got such good.
So folks should visit mercycenters.org for to view the bulletin board postings, among other things, as well as see the video on making canna butter on our YouTube channel at Mercy Center TV. So you can link to it there again from our website, mercycenters.org.
And can they see episodes of My Garden there too?
Yes, that's correct. Look for PK's My Garden. Or just look for My Garden once you get into YouTube. It should pop up. Also, Mercy Center. There's some keywords to search on there. But you Mercy Nation heads already know that stuff. So spread the word. And we'll next time see you back here with a friend or an enemy. Who knows? But we've got about 7 minutes left here.
So people in the hospital, you can use cannabis to help your condition, to take care of your condition. It may work, it may not, but it's better than some of the medicine that the doctors are prescribing to you.
Oh yeah, it's safe, it's benign, you know, nobody's died from it, nobody's going to. It's...
Well, you wouldn't hear the Bureau 10 seconds saying it may cause this or may cause that or even death.
It may give you the munchies.
Dr. Levesque knew,
right?
you know.
Yep.
Dr. Levesque was right there. He was on top of it.
One of in fact, I think the first doctor to sign in Oregon.
And I thank Dr. Levesque all the time, you know, is a blessing, you know. Thank you, Dr. Levesque, and your many blessings, you know.
Yeah.
And all the doctors and all their blessings, you know, the doctors go through a lot to take care of all their patients, you know. That's why it's important to talk to the doctors.
Really take
know.
that for granted. So that, Sonny says, talk to your doc if you feel you're not able to, or more information how to contact Sonny.
Yes.
Through our website. You can send us an email. You can look up our phone number, which is
503-363-4588. You know.
So
call twice if you have to.
Just like trained SEALs are really working there.
We'll do it, you know, let us know. You know, we're the patients helping patients. You know, we're just trying to get to the people that need the help. You know, cannabis is good medicine. We know it helps for so many conditions. If we didn't talk about, you know, a condition, please, you know, like Perry said, send him an email. You know, he'll get back in touch with you.
We really we enjoy getting folks together along things like that. I mean, qualifying conditions. You know, one time there was a PTSD group working on getting it added to the medical cannabis program here in Oregon. And it was quite a thing. And there's other groups that should be petitioning to have it added, but with prohibition still going on, being what it is, they're all getting stymied. And actually the medical program here in Oregon is losing ground. We're going to need to take it back to its original roots. May have to just do it all over again or something. But you know, we're talking about it in the legislature, and we're going to see what happens here in 2025.
Well,
by
that's
the
why
way,
it's important to support
Happy New
your
Year,
neighbors.
everybody. Yeah.
Support your neighbors or friends, you know.
Well, and that's the thing, you know, the action items are, of course, register, vote, get everyone you know to do so also.
Renew your medical marijuana permit. We need to keep this program going. I enjoy growing the quantity. This lasts me the season and even a little bit into the next season. So, no. Register, vote, renew your card. Write to your legislators telling them that cannabis is a medicine and it's been improving my quality of life. And thank you for CC Media.
And all the people that it takes every day to make all this happen and to help all the people in all the states and all the countries all over the world. There's so many people and all the veterans. You know, thank you. All the veterans out there.
Thank you for your service, and we're glad that medical cannabis is becoming more and more available as the movement is able to continue its efforts. And fortunately, these gains we have made are not carved in stone as much as the prohibition preventing them from happening as they should is still going on. So we can't repeat our action items enough as far as registering and voting, getting everyone you know to do so also, voting smart, knowing who your representative is and contacting them on your opinion on what the law should be and all, and how they voted and so forth. Also, support your local programs. If you don't have one going, network. Get put up a poster. People want to talk about it. They'll gather to it, and then you can just go from there almost, really. And demonstrate. Support them. I mean, when people get busted and they're in the news, to support them by going to their court appearances and other things. Every little pothead should be defended because, you know, get on jury duty and you can affect them, those situations that way too, by jury nullification, you know.
It works, man.
It
works. It all works.
It's a beautiful thing. So you can find out more about these action items and others and groups that are organizing and acting along these lines at mercycenters.org. Thanks again, Mercy TV, the folks at CC Media, and of course you can find out more about them at mercycenters.org. You know.
So Dr. Lebec was a great doctor, and he was a veteran also.
Right.
So I personally knew him.
You know, one of my first doctors.
One of the many people that we do this for. So that's all the time we have right now. Thanks, and we'll see you next time on Mercy TV.
Thank you. Have fun. Go fly a kite. Enjoy life.
Hey, Mercy Nation, tell everybody. You know, tell everybody you can. Cannabis is good medicine.
It's safe medicine, and everyone should have access to it. It's past time we start wasting time and money and people, and we keep trying to prevent it from being the medicine that it should be.
Well, they can help them. They can help them.
Think how much money we'll save by not screwing with people over it.
They
Plus,
can help them.
they get healthy and work and, you know, help contribute.
Quality
Tax
of
dollars.
life is improved.
Start businesses. You know, silly things like that. Later.
Good day. Thank you, folks. Say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.